Hi there YouTube, Musical Aviator here. I didn't get to do Milk Run Monday yesterday because I was working. So, Moncton Monday instead of Milk Run. How about that? They have a couple of ATC centres online already. I do notice that they don't have any approaches or towers online, but that's alright. Not as much traffic as Milk Run either. Most of it seems to be down here in Boston. But we've stuck to the Dash8. We'll be flying from St. John's to Halifax, so going down into Newfie down there as Firefox decides to take a crap on us. Damn it. Fine, we'll disconnect it. So yeah, St. John's, up in Labrador, down to Halifax. Dash8 Q400. Big turboprop. Some issues with the scenery. I got it installed last night and then I've found these random taxiway signs everywhere, so I'm suspecting I've got the default underneath. We've also got a couple of extra gates spawning out of here, but we'll ignore that. We don't need to use gates anyway. We're in a Dash8. Let's jump in. Hi Jacoby. Not doing too bad for early morning. I'm on night shift now, so starting work at 3. It's 9. So we're going to start the aircraft. Firstly, batteries go on. There's 4 of them there. Make sure the main bus tie is in the on position. Just wait for the aircraft to boot itself up. You get these big T's. Radios are still off, FMSs are still off. Dome light is in, all those other lights are on.
Bank angle.
And the screens come alive. With that done, we're going to test all the fire equipment. Hello, Toy Inspector. And we're also going to check the APU fire. Yep, that's all good. So we do have a ground start card out there, so we're going to turn on the ground power, external power. Both the AC and the DC are the side of the thing. So now the aircraft's not draining the battery, we will start up our radios. Does a little test. I usually put both on this side instead of on. That means I can manipulate the other pilot's radios, since I'm not sitting over there and there's actually no second pilot. Just realised my position of that is a little bit too high. Cool. So looking at this, we'll have ATC on 132.2. He hasn't spawned an ATIS for our airport, so no ATIS with us. Same here, Toy Inspector. We had a bit of rain last night, so it's a bit moist out there, and it's quite cool. It's about like 8 or 9 degrees, with a estimated top of 12 on the forecast. But yeah, it's sunny. The weekend was brilliant weather, like 21 degrees here in Melbourne, and we're only allowed out 1 hour a day. It's like, all right, we'll accept our thingy there. I do notice I need to update my database. '24th of August. And I'll also hit the dim button to brighten up the FMS a little bit. and pop in our flight plan. Oh, Canada. That's very correct. So the flight plan, we have it here. Level 240 direct text ed out of CYYT, St. John's. Accept it. There's no airways here, so we don't need to worry about that. TextEd, TEXED. Accept. Silro, SILRO. Just for the benefit of whoever was asking before, if you needed to chuck in an airway, you click on List, click on Airway, which is the second one down. Then you select out the airways. You click the type the number that you wanted. Say Q846 would be number 2. And then you hit Enter, and that'd enter the airway. And then you tell it where you finish the airway. In this case, back here in YHZ or Notop or whatever. Anyway, I don't need any of that, so I'm going to hit Return to back us out of that page. We don't need it. And we'll type in Kaylee. CAYLY. Accept. And that's it. So we need the arrival, which is CYHZ. Accept. And obviously the Cabo 5 is a star, is a SID star. It's a star. So we'll worry about that once we're in the air and actually flying. Fuel. So you can enter the weights either as zero fuel weight directly or as passengers and cargo. In this case, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that's right. We're in a prison cell and we get 1 hour recreation a day. Melbourne is a prison colony again. Actually, Melbourne was never a prison colony, but, you know, convicts here in Australia. It's back to the days of the first fleet. Zero fuel weight is 25.3. I'll just write it in there, straight up. Fuel. Now, alternate, I believe, was Moncton. Yep, YQM, and that is 546. Enter. Holding, I think I've chucked in 45 minutes or something like that. Contingencies there, trip is there, alternate fire res. Yep, that's 668, 45 minutes. And we chucked in an extra. That contingency, 356. Good to hear that your training session went well. And the fuel on board today, total was, and we'll check it from here, because you have 2 flight plans going. Planned ramp fuel 4028. Enter. So now we have the gross weight, which is 29.3 tonne, which is huge for a Dash8. We must be carrying cargo and pre-COVID loads. I reckon we've got 70 passengers on. That looks fun. So I'll grab the speed card, which shows us our V speeds for the aircraft, and I also need the checklist up. I think it'll be flaps 5 and our gross weight 29, so it's here, 130s. These are weights that I don't normally see on this aircraft. That's fun. No, 130. 131 is our VR speed. Happens to be the V1 speed as well, because the runway's long enough. I might actually take one off, just to give us a little bit of extra room. And then the V2 is 133. Numbers I'm getting that from, since we're 28, actually, what's it, 28? Was it 29? How much is it again? 29. Alright, we are actually that 29. I got those speeds wrong. So it's actually 133. So I'll do 132 there, 133 in the rotation, and 135. We're at maximum weight on our takeoff. Intriguing. And our V5 flap speed for the initial climb, 146. And the climb speed, 158 with the flaps up. So all this documentation comes with Majestic, you just have to find it somewhere. I've placed it on my desktop so I don't need to find it anymore. Cool, we've set that up. Let's go into data Unilink, and I'm going to pick up the weather from here. We're in CYYT. Helpful if we put two Y's in there. Enter. And I'm going to go CYHZ in the receiving position. We can send that through. Patrick James went to the dairy to get some milk and scared all the people around. CYYT, here we go. Bit of wind, 260 at 17, gusting 22. I just realised I don't have my Navigraph charts ready. Let's get that going. I'll just pin that to the top. And we'll need to set up a flight using low route. New flight, manual input, CYYT, CYHZ. Don't care what the route is. Let's stick that in and pick up the departure airport. It's a pity we don't have any, you know, iPad inside the aircraft simulated. That's a pity. It'd be nice if we had that. It's a little iPad stuck to the window or something. But anyway, that's all the St. John's stuff that we need. Here is the runway, and with wind 260, I'm expecting we'll be using runway 29. Obviously we're down here, we'll be taxiing out, I'm expecting... how do we get there? Oh, that's a horrible layout. I don't like it at all. Yuck. I'm guessing we're taxiing out via Gulf and then backtracking onto runway 34, and then at the intersection come around onto Charlie, straight up to Bravo, and then enter from there. Or will they just give us runway 34? That might be an option as well. Ugh. Not a fan of this layout. Anyhow, altimeter 3004, which I wasn't expecting. I forgot we're in America land. That's 1017 on the other system. Density altitude, that's interesting. 18 degrees Celsius. Cool. So I'll hit the return on that, come back to the flight plan. I think it's about time we had a chat to the guys on center. That's 132.2. Click on there, use the big round thing.
Runway's messed up there. You can go Foxtrot and runway 02, or you can go Golf, runway 16, and left on runway 02, hold short at runway 29.
Okay, roger that. We'll go Golf and across 16 and up 02 and call holding short 29, Air Canada 691.
Air Canada 691, roger.
Okay, we're parked in, I think, number 9A or something like that. 10A. It's one of the A positions anyway. Since we're a Dash8, we don't get to use the jetways because we've got stairs on our door. Is this Moncton? Yes. Moncton Control, Encore 3423-8 at St. John's, requesting clearance through Halifax.
Encore 3423, Gander, good evening. You're cleared to the Halifax Airport via the St. John's 6 departure, flight plan route, squawk 3137.
Cleared to Halifax via the St. John's 6 departure and squawk code 3137, Encore 3423.
Encore 3423, readback is correct. Time is 2328, and St. John's altimeter is 3004. Using runway 29, you can advise ready to taxi.
Could be altimeter 3004, runway 29, and we'll go Encore 3423. Okay, to set the score code, just hit that bottom one there. That'll highlight it, and we rotate the knob. 3137. So it's the bigger knob for the first 2 letters and the smaller knob for the last 2 letters, and then hit the button again to swap them around. Hit the menu button, departure, runway 29, which is select the number 5, and St. John's departure number 1, and a runway 29. Send it to the flight plan, and there it is. Now the no link flashing means that we have a discontinuity. What that should prompt you to do is look at the charts and see why there's a discontinuity there. In this case, it's because there's no link between taking off and our heading at the end. So just read what you need to do. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you need to do. This SID requires a minimum gradient of runway 20 300 feet per nautical mile to 900 feet.
And for 712, winds Gander
and runway 34,
10,
270
takeoff
per
runway
nautical mile
21.
to 1,000 feet. Initial climb is climb runway heading for vectors, maintain 5,000. So, that's why he didn't tell us on altitude.
Winds 280, 17 gusting 22, clear takeoff runway 29.
But we can select
Copy the winds,
5,000.
clear for takeoff, runway 29, Air Canada 691.
5,000 is set. We want our nav source to be the FMS, so that's selected now with the nav source. Have to do the same to the other side. FMS is showing that it's got no information. That's because we haven't set any information into it yet. So we click cross-fill, X-fill, click it, and bring the flight plan over from the other side. And cross-fill the fuel. That means both FMSs are both on the same page now. They understand each other. Before that, they weren't talking to each other. In the literal sense of the word. Alright, so the no link is that vector. So we take off, take up a heading of 285, which I'm going to set in the heading. There's 280 and 285 there. You can double check your heading down here, HDG 285. So after departure, we take up a heading of 285 and we continue flying that heading forever until air traffic control tells us to do something else. The end. At some point, that something else will probably be flying direct to TechSed. Or it might be something more imaginative, something like track Torbay outbound radial. But I notice that we aren't actually joining a, like Atlin would be the first waypoint. So if we were flying to Atlin, we're not, we're flying to TechSed, but if we were flying to Atlin, we may need to join the Torbay 113.5 outbound 278 radial, in which case you need to tune into the VOR 113.5, like this. 113.5 set, and take the nav source and turn it into the VOR instead of the FMS, and then track up 278 outbound on the course. Which would be that. And then after takeoff, he might say, join that localizer, or join that outbound radio.
Good evening, identified, fly heading 260, climb
or he might say track direct. And if you were to say track direct, as you will to us, switch back to FMS, and then select it direct to DTO, and then number 5, TechSed. That's what he'll be doing.
Empress 712.
We haven't got that instruction yet, so we won't do it.
Moncton Air Canada 6.
I think we're just about ready to go. I'm going to turn on the APU.
For 5,000.
Air Canada 691, Gander Center, good evening. You're identified. Clear direct TechSed and on course. Climb to flight level 380.
Just going to turn them off for a bit. We actually don't need the APU to start the engines because they're small enough to start off the battery power. But, you know, that's quite taxing on the battery, so might as well have the APU. Let's see if I can grab some info. Alrighty, I think we're about ready to get our generators on. Now we're already using the external power as generators, so we need to turn those off. And then turn the APU generator in. Bleed air is on, quite loud. Might as well have it on while we run the checklist. So, checklist. Documentation is on board, batteries are on and checked, and I'm showing plus 11 as the highest temperature there. Main bus tires in, DC external power was on, now it's on the APU. Batteries are checked, bus voltages, 0.6, 0.7, AC buses are off, and the APU is 0.7. Safety equipment is on board, just turn around behind us to check how that oxygen mask is going. There it is. Cool. Landing gear lights. I'm showing 3 green. Pins. We didn't do the walk around. I'll just double check. If you do leave the pins in, they'll be showing up like little red tags flapping in the breeze there. And if that happens, you won't be able to get the gear up. The only way to get rid of those is to be on the ground with your engine stopped and the door open, and then you click on data, services, and gear pins. See, ground ops only because we have the door closed. If we open up the door, we can install the pins or uninstall them. They're uninstalled at the moment, so we're happy. Alrighty. Engine intake doors. 2 green, 1, 2. Circuit breakers. Yes, they actually work on the Pro version of this product. So all of these things, you can pull the circuit breaker out and the thing that is attached to that circuit breaker won't work anymore. For instance, the primary flight display number 1, which is your screen there. So if you pull that circuit breaker, that screen will just turn off forever. DME, AEDF, the FMS, the ATC radio, yeah, that'll actually turn off as well if you pull that. The stick pusher, which is to do with, you know, stall warning and that kind of thing. So, circuit breakers are all good. Alternate gear door and inhibit switch. So the inhibit switch is on the roof up here, and it should be latched with the red thing over the top of it. It is. And then the gear door itself is down here, open that up, and if you were to pump this handle, you would be able to pull the gear down. Just check that the system is working. You have 3 green lights, are all good. We can shut that. Bleed air 1 and 2 need to be off. That's up here, the air conditioning. Bleed 1 and 2 are off. APU bleeds, we have that on at the moment, and I'm also going to just turn on this because we're starting to fog up. You can see the windscreen is fogging up, so with the anti-ice windshield heat to normal, and the pilot side window heat is on. APU bleeds currently on. We need to be off for the pushback and the start. Recirc fan is on. Pressurization is auto set, and landing altitude is essentially 0 feet set. AC packs checked. That's that thing. It's already off. Emergency lights need to be armed. They're currently not. They are now. Fuel transfer. That's this switch here. That is in the middle, so it's not pushing. Quantity of the fuel is 2010, 2015. Remember those years? So fun. Parking brake is on. Power condition levers are disc and off. Nose wheel steering is off for the start. FMS is set. Takeoff and departure briefing has been completed. Okay, full start. Trim is set. So I have 0 on that trim. Currently 0 on that trim, and I'm always tempted to just chuck in a little bit of right rudder because we'll need it after takeoff. And pitch trim in the takeoff range. That's all set. Door and fueling lights, that's up here. Obviously we're not refueling at the moment, and our doors are closed. You can always check that by looking at the door page, which is door system. That'll show up here. All the doors are green, which means they're closed. Back to electricals. Passenger signs on. Good. Cabin report received. Door is locked, and the collision light goes to red. APU bleed is off, and batteries are set for start. Just need to check our lights. So there's the caution lights. And the advisory lights down here. And I'm also going to check our takeoff warning. Nice beeping. And the stall. There we go, that's the stall stick shaker. So with all of that set, we are ready to push, or actually start up. We'll switch back to Moncton and start engine number 2, then engine number 1. I'll flick this over the PA and make an announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain speaking from the flight deck. My name is Trent. Joining me on the flight deck is YouTube. We'll be taking you down to Halifax, Nova Scotia today. We do hope you enjoy the flight with us on Westjet Encore flight 3423. Flight time today is about 1 hour 40 minutes, and we should be on the way shortly. In preparation for takeoff, cabin crew will be coming through the aircraft to ensure that everything is ready for our departure. I do ask that you pay them your full attention, as there are some safety messages you do need to be aware of.
Jazz 996,
that said, we'll be on the way shortly, making our way out to runway 29, and we do hope you enjoy the ride on our Dash8 Q400. Cabin crew, please prepare the aircraft for departure. Okay, we can start up. We're not pushing back, we're just starting on position. To do that, we come up here, make sure that our ignition is set to normal, bleed air goes off, and we'll select engine number 2 and start. Everything goes quiet as all the energy goes into that engine. We have 19% stable, and select number 2 into the start feather. And it should stabilize about 210. We will then start the other engine. Notice you keep it in start feather for both engines to start. Come up here, make sure that the engine starter is cut out. It is. We'll select number 1 and start. Same deal again. That should rise to about 19%. Once that happens, set to start feather. And the prop RPM should come up to about 210, 220.
Matt Black 735, when ready to send 10,000. Halifax altimeter is 3001.
Okay, when ready to send 10,000.
Okay, we have 2 stable engines running.
Matt Black 735.
There's no people around, so we'll start the engines all the way up to the top. And the prop RPM should come up. Double checking that we have brake pressure. We're all good. Props should accelerate into the green range, about 600-ish. Okay, props 650 in the green range. AC Gen 1 is showing 0.15 and 115. Gonna select nav on the outboard computer as well. Couple of things before we start the taxi. We're going to turn on our fuel pumps, propeller control into auto feather, and the hydraulics. Select flap 5, and we probably need to do a checklist. After start checklist, external power and the APU can be disconnected. APU is being turned off now. Main bus tie goes off. Electrical panels, we already checked that. Condition levers are maximum. Auto feather is selected white. Fuel pumps are on. Hydraulics are checked. We have standby on, and the PTU is on. Flaps. Flaps 5.
Citation,
speeds have been already set. 132, 133, 135, and climbing out 158.
West, northwest of tops.
Citation Lima Lima Golf 2,
rudder.
Moncton Center, good evening.
So I come down here to check our rudder is moving. Give it all the way to the left, all the way to the right. And then make sure it still moves with one of the PTUs disconnected. That's working okay. Checking it with the other PTU disconnected. That's okay. And with both PTUs disconnected, you should have enough accumulated hydraulic pressure in there to still move it slightly. The more you move it, the less it works. We'll set both hydraulics good to go. Nozzle steering goes on, otherwise you won't be able to taxi properly. That's that button there. Rudder, full travel, no steering is in. PFD, MFD and ED. We want to have a takeoff mode with our flight director on, so what you actually have to do here is press the button on the throttle. You can do it with your mouse, click. I've actually got it set to my toga button in FSU IPC, so I just physically touch my throttle. Good old Honeycomb Bravo there. Checking the bleeds are on, so we can turn them on, but they're in minimum. Both bleeds are in. Test the de-ice pressure, which is this thing. Our ice protection set. That should clear all of these lights up here. Still have a few over here, which is the inboard anti-skid, that one. Transponder TCAS goes on. Just hold down the button, that should say on out. If you were to press the button once, it of course highlights so you can change the code, but in this case you want to hold down the button and it turns from standby to on. And that's the after start checklist. We have a Vortex Checklist, which is checking the brakes. So I will disconnect this brake, make sure that the feet work. You can do that just by advancing the power a little bit and seeing if it runs off or not. It does not. Cool. Back on the parking brake. Takeoff warning, we already tested that. Takeoff power, we are reducing a little bit. Down to 87. There it is. 85. Cool. Flight instruments are set with the Q&H. Hydraulic pumps, so this is full travel of the ailerons. So the first thing you need to do is throw away your control lock and then check if your flight controls work. All the way over to the left and full forward and back. Then same thing here, disconnect the hydraulic accumulator and you'll notice that one of the spoilers stops working. Then flip them around and make sure that the other one is working as well. They are independently working. So we put the control lock back in. Yaw dampener goes on. That's that thing there. And the clearances, we've already got clearances and cabin secure. We're ready for taxi.
Lima Golf 2, when ready, descend flight level 290.
290 for Lima Golf 2.
Moncton Control, Encore 3423 is ready for taxi at St. John's.
Encore 3423, roger, taxi Foxtrot, runway 02, hold short, runway 29.
Foxtrot 02 and hold short 29, Encore 3423.
Roger.
Foxtrot, and then we taxi along runway 02. Okay, that's mind-bending. Let's get out of here. Little bit of differential thrust to get us around the corner. I believe this is Foxtrot.
Lima Golf 2, contact Moncton Center on 1244. So long.
24.4, see you, Lima Golf 2.
On to runway 02. That's 02, isn't it?
Moncton Center, Speedbird 9 Echo.
Hello, Shackers.
Speedbird 9 Echo, Moncton Center, good evening.
And Speedbird 9 Echo, request out of copy for 20 minutes if possible.
Yeah, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Roger, we'll call back.
Okay, lights are all good. Let's run the lineup check, sorry. The LUP check. Anti-collision lights. Might as well, we're on a runway. Landing lights. We'll do that when we get the clearance. Pitot-static isolation valve, that's down here. And that is on and covered. Bleeds. Yep, they're set with minimum. You can do a bleedless takeoff for more power if you need it. We don't. That's if it is hot or your runway is really short. AFC modes, I have GA and straight ahead wings level. Caution panel is black, and that's the lineup checklist complete. It's going to test our radar. Hello for CM Aviation and to Yukari. Hope you're well. Okay, I'm seeing a good test on the weather radar. I'm going to drop that into off to clear the test, and then we'll turn it on. That should turn blue. Now it's gone back to test. There we go. Weather radar is on. We're coming up to our crossing runway. We've even got a hold short line. Nice.
Matt Black 735, contact Halifax arrival on 1192. So long.
1192, Matt Black 735, good night.
Brakes are set. It's going to wait for that blue to clear. Means that the weather radar is not quite ready to take on duties yet. Everything else looks okay. And that blue has cleared. Cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff. Encore 3423, ready at holding short 29.
Encore 3423, winds 280, 17 gusting 22 knots, clear takeoff runway 29.
Runway 29, clear for takeoff, Encore 3423.
Rudder.
So we've been clear for takeoff, lights go on. Cabin crew is seated. Let's go. Down here we want to clear the control lock. One last test of the takeoff. Warning, that is clear. Silent. Means we are ready for takeoff. Okay, everything's ready. Let's go. Once we're lined up properly. Nose wheel is straight. Thrust is set. Speed is active. 80 knots. V1, rotate, V2. Smooth rotation, we have positive rate, gear coming up. Early in the takeoff, you might need a little bit of rudder just to keep that steady. And we want to climb at the top mark there. Need a bit of trim to get down there. Clicking noise is the trim moving. I'm happy with that. There's 2,000 feet, flaps coming up. We are above that speed. So flaps up, speed check 180. Into maximum climb, and we'll call this out. Encore 3423 is climbing 5,000, passing 2,500.
Encore 3423, Gander Center, good evening. You're identified. Clear direct TechSed and on course. Climb to flight level 240.
Climb to level 240, direct to TechSed on course. Encore 2423.
Roger.
So I'm just going to chuck on autopilot for a second because I need the assistance. Also going to chuck in IAS, which is a climb speed. Push that speed up to 200 knots. We're clearly past 5,000, so push that all the way up to level 240. And we'll select the altitude, select. Come down here to DTO, click text head, which is number 5. Flight plan, nah, didn't do it. Oh yeah, we did. And into, what's it called? Nav mode. Nav mode set, we have LNAV, climbing, and we need to just adjust our rudder a little bit to get the trapezoid directly under the triangle. I have 2 buttons set for the rudder trim. If you didn't have the button set, you'd use this thing here. But then you'd have to use this thing to do something to that thing. And it's a bit hard to do that. C down there and here. So I've just got a button on my yoke, which changes that. Not yoke, my throttle quadrant. So we're climbing away. Weather radar is radaring away. We're in maximum climb and we probably want to do a checklist. So after takeoff, landing gear is up, flaps are 0, bleeds can go to normal, set, and the climb power is set. I'm showing MCL. And we continue in this configuration until we hit the transition, 18,000. Hi there, Carrie. We're off to Halifax, Nova Scotia. Don't have any scenery in Halifax. There is a FS 20 scenery by Orbex, but I can't find any that don't look dodgy for P3D. I'm going to disconnect the propeller auto feather and the auxiliary pumps. Don't need those anymore. There's 10,000 feet. We can throw away the lights. Seatbelt signs can go off. Yeah, it's 1 hour 40 minutes of flying time to go, roughly. And we're direct to Texad, level 240. Trying to keep that in the middle, so you have the little triangle on top and the filled in bottom of the triangle, or the trapezoid shape. Just keep them aligned with the rudder, and then use your trim so you can center the rudder again. We won't need our takeoff data anymore, so I'm going to go ahead
Jazz
and...
996, we can talk about the weather at St. John's. I have the 2300 weather if you need it.
Yeah, we'll take the weather, Jazz 996.
Okay, they're
See
showing
what our
winds
landing weight
280
is.
magnetic, 17 gusting 22 knots, visibility 15 miles, ceiling 6,000 broken, 8,000 broken, and finally 12,000 overcast. Temperature 18, dew point 11. St. John's altimeter 3004. I presume you'll be looking for runway 29. What approach would you like?
Yeah, we'll take the ILS approach runway 29 or Jazz 996, thanks.
Jazz 996, Roger. We'll modify the routing a little bit for traffic.
So I'll add 2 to the 2600 to get the 2700 numbers.
Your star is cancelled. When you're able, proceed direct to ONDAP.
Okay, direct on down.
I'll let them chat away. We're nearly at transition anyway, so I'm going to switch over to 1013. 2992 over here. We're getting ice detection.
Moncton, sorry, yeah. Moncton right here, using Porter 114 at St. John's, IFR2 Moncton, please.
Porter 114, again to Center, good evening. You're cleared to the Moncton Airport via the St. John's 6 departure, flight plan route, squawk 3117.
So, ice props on, and we'll turn this on to slow for the moment.
And Porter 114 clear to the Moncton Airport ready to take on departures on S5 squawking 3117, you said Porter 114.
Porter 114, readback is correct, time midnight 05. Runway 29 at St. John's, winds are 280, 17 gusting 22 knots, and again St. John's altimeter is 3004, advise ready to taxi.
So obviously icing happens when the temperature and your inside cloud currently showing -7 degrees Celsius. So we're probably picking up some
Center,
icing
good evening,
into the collectors.
Delta 4211 with you, flight level 310.
Delta 4211, Moncton Center, good evening.
As we pop over the top of cloud, that should stop accumulating, but it might take a little while to throw it away from the accumulators. Also, we noticed that we have Texit coming up over here. Texit is good over here. We hadn't gone into crossfill. Need to crossfill the flight plan again. Remember, anything that you do in this FMS doesn't translate across to this FMS until you crossfill. They're independent.
Moncton Center, Porter 114, can we depart 02?
Porter 114, winds at St. John's are 280 magnetic, 17 gusting 22. Runway 29 is active. If you want to use runway 02, we could accommodate that.
Actually, I think I'm fine. I will just take 29 Porter 114.
Okay, advise ready to taxi.
Roger, advise ready to taxi Porter 114.
Delta 4211, when ready, descend 10,000. Halifax altimeter is 3000.
3000 and 10,000 at my discretion. We'll call you leaving 31 Delta 4211.
Delta 4211, Roger.
wings are clear, but we've still got some on the top of the spinner. So until that clears away, we're going to have this ice detector thing on. So we're just going to keep the spinner's heater on. That's the only way to get rid of icing on the spinner, is just heat it up until it melts away. On the wings we have the airframe mode, which are little expandable areas on the front of the wing, this black area essentially. So that black area isn't actually solid, it's kind of like a very hard rubber. And you force air in behind the rubber, and the rubber actually expands slightly. And so it basically expands and contracts and expands and contracts, and then the ice that forms on it will eventually shatter and fall off. But of course you can't do that on a propeller because it's spinning around at 900 times a second. Minute, sorry. So they just heat that up. The heating takes a little longer to push the ice away. Whereas the little rubber boots can crack the ice and it just falls off. Of course it needs to actually form first. Can't crack ice that hasn't become a solid sheet yet. The icing determination has gone away, so we can turn these things off again. Icing systems are off, and the reason that that's off isn't because it's any warmer, it's in fact colder, but we're not inside the cloud anymore, and that's, you can't pick up ice if there's no water, obviously. Ice is frozen water, so if you're outside the water,
Anderson, reporter 114.
then there won't be any more ice forming.
Reporter 114, taxi Foxtrot, runway 02, hold short of runway 29.
So now that we're above the
taxi
clouds,
Foxtrot 02, hold short 29, reporter 114.
we won't be getting any more ice accumulation. We might get it on the way back down, or if we encounter higher clouds. But for now, we're fine. Come up on Texid, and the next waypoint coming up is Silver. Let's see what we have on the map. I think it's this one, flight level 240. Yep, flight level 240. So we are heading into a little bit of a headwind. It's about 25 knots. 25 knots quartering headwind. That's Texid, which is where we are right now, and then we'll be heading out to Silro, which is right in this gap here between Labrador and Newfie. Sun's behind us somewhere. About 1,400 feet to climb. Just reviewing what we have up here. Differential is in the green. Cabin altitude just passing 6,900 up to 7,000. Climbing at a rate of maybe 100 feet a minute or less. The overhead's happy. There's 1,000 call. We have altitude select is in. Where are we? Somewhere about there? Ah, there, okay.
Gander Center, Porter 114, ready for deadline.
And we're headed down to here.
Yeah, you were
Apparently
supposed to go up runway
approach
02 and not
and a tower down
not
there.
go into
That's
those
nice.
taxiways there. For Porter
Underground.
114, winds are
They got the full gamut of
280
ATC
at
at
20
Halifax.
gusting 26 knots, clear takeoff runway 29.
Sorry about that. Didn't realize that, Porter 114, frequent takeoff runway 29er.
Roger.
Okay, let's get our Halifax arrivals sorted. Or at least started, so I know where we're going. We'll get rid of our St. John's stuff. Inbound by the Cabot 5. There it is. Yeah, chuck in the taxi.
And Delta 4211, we're leaving flight level 310 for 10,000.
Delta 4211, roger.
Runway 0523. That's probably the one that we're going to be using. Let's check out the weather. Off to Halifax. HZ, wind 140 at 10. Cool. So there is a runway 14, that could happen. And a runway 05, which is more likely. Showers of rain. There we go, cool. 20 degrees, is that correct? It's a 3/8 of a statute mile. Yeah. The weather's horrid.
Porter 114, airborne.
Showers of rain, fog, vertical visibility
Porter
100
114, Gander
feet.
Center, good evening again. You're
20
identified,
degrees
clear direct tech bed
and
and
the,
on course, climb flight level 220.
Yeah, it's 20 degrees with dew point at 20. It's 100% humidity.
Roger.
Yeah, fog 8. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad down there. Cool. We're at 240. A couple of things will happen here. We're beginning to accelerate, but we'll also reduce our prop RPM to 850 for the cruise, MCR. That reduces to 850, and in doing so we reduce the amount of torque happening on the propellers.
Delta 4211, contact Halifax arrival on 1192.
And
Good
that
night.
will affect the rudder trim.
192, thanks for the great service like always. We'll see you next time. Take care.
So we need a
4211.
little bit less
See ya.
right rudder. So we're going to untrim some of the rudder. And then as we accelerate, the rudder becomes more and more effective. So we reduce it even more as we accelerate. Yeah, that's right, Steve Ellis. It'll be a bit of a pea soup down there in Halifax. Won't be able to see much. So it'll be all ILS. Let's get the ILSs up. Approaches. I said runway 05 or 14 are the options. So there's 05. We'll stick both of them in as an option. This is when we wish we had head-up display in these aircraft, but apparently Westjet don't have them. Canada Jazz does, and so does obviously Horizon, but yeah, Westjet never got head up to space. Not that it's Qantas, so I'm used to it. 109.9. 99, thanks. Done. And the other runway. 1091. Ready for a quick flip over if we need to. Go back to the other one. I think 05 is slightly more likely, but can't be absolutely certain. So inbound course is 053, and to show that up, we'll hit the format button and hold format down until it flips the map off. Set the course 053 that way. And a minimums of 820. That's 357 feet. I think we need better minimums than that. Is there a more precise approach option? Not really. Okay, how's 1014? 14 is a better option. Interesting. What's 05 doing again? Okay, 14 is looking more and more likely. The minimum's down there, 641, which is 200 feet above the ground. And you can do RVR half a mile. The wind's blasting straight down there. I'm having a feeling they're going to be running that arrival. Interesting. 641 it is then. And that heading is 143. Set. And we'll flip them around. 1091. Let's check our approach speed. Be flat 15, and our arrival weight, landing weight, estimated to be 27.
Jazz 996, when ready, descend to 6,000. St. John's altimeter is 3004.
Halfway between 26 and 28 is 27. The difference between 22 and 26, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 4. So I'll just add 2 to this number to get our 27. That's 22, 24. 224, 124, sorry. That's the approach speed reference. Actually 121, so the reference is that. And I'm going to add 5 to the reference.
Moncton Standby, good evening. This is Speedbird Concorde 1.
So approach speed 128.
Speedbird Concorde 1, Moncton Center, good evening. Squawk at end.
Might be 130, but 128 is our aiming point.
Squawk at end.
And we want to touch down at 123. And the red tape will start at 111.
Speedbird 1 is identified, flight level 600.
23, 113.
Thanks.
So if we get down 113 knots, we have to go around, or go to toga power. But yeah, 123 is the reference speed,
5471
128
Moncton
is
Center, good evening. Squawk at end. Air Canada 5471 is identified, and just confirm your flight level.
Air Canada 5471, flight level is 320.
Okay, you're showing flight level 326 for some reason.
Air Canada 5471, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't see properly. You're right, it's 326.
Okay, you should make sure your altimeter set standard 29 or 9 or 2 and maintain flight level 320.
Air Canada 5471, I'm setting my altimeter to 29 or 9 or 2 and descending flight level 320.
Roger.
Let's have a look at what our estimates are.
Center Delta 640, checking in with you, flight level 360.
Delta 640, Moncton Center, good evening. Squawk at end.
Headwind at 7 knots.
Delta 640 is identified, level 360.
See if we can pick up the ATIS. Cool, there we go.
Air Canada 5471, we have finished our descent to flight level 320.
Information, Mike.
Air Canada 5471, roger.
Approach runway 14. Cool, let's set up the right one. Yeah, the runway 14's got better minimums. It's a shorter runway, but you can get down lower, which is a factor today. In fact, we're going to be breaking out just about minimums, 200 feet. Ceiling is 200 feet overcast, and minimums is 200 feet. So just as we break out, it's like, we'll nearly need to go around runway. Mr. Brashite, minimums. I suspect that's what's going to happen today. Anyway, our approach speed 128. If we did use flaps 30, that'll bring us down to 122. No need to do that. Yeah, only 6 knots in it and a whole bunch of extra drag. So I'm going to stick with flap 15. Runway's not that short. Yeah, 2,300 meters, and we'll probably vacate on Mike. Ah, they've got a lasso. Oh no, that's the other direction. Okay, cool. There's no lasso in that direction. It's like that would be, yeah, that would be a bit of an issue. Still a bit of an issue in that direction, to be honest. But it's not an option on this side anyway.
Porter 114, Moncton.
Porter 114, go ahead.
You were actually cleared only to flight level 220. I see you up above that. You're descending now, are you?
Yeah, I'm descending. Sorry about that. Shot in half.
Okay.
I'd say speed is, well, it's
on
almost
the 8129, Moncton.
And go ahead for on the 8129.
All right, you're leaving my airspace shortly, and the oceanic sector's not online, so surveillance service terminates. You can change to en route frequencies. Have a good night.
I changed en route frequencies. I was just about to ask you for 380 here. We'll be doing that right now on the Express 8129. See you.
Roger.
And the Moncton Center, Porter 144. Should I expect any ILS after Fredericton?
Sorry, say again?
I was just going to ask what runway I should expect for arrival into Moncton.
The winds right now are 160 magnetic at 8 knots. They could still change well before you get there, but the Moncton Airport, the arrival and the controller does have a NATIS up, so when you get in range of Moncton, you can check in there for the weather and the active runway.
Affirmative. Thank you very much for the one.
Look at that. He's teaching them how to fend for themselves as pilots. You don't need to ask the controller everything. Especially when you're like this far away from your, your airport. It's like, what runway are we going to be using? Well, you see, there's this thing called wind, and sometimes it changes direction. Also, they've got this entire ATIS thing going on. Someone actually went to the trouble of pre-recording this looped voice that just says the weather and the runway over and over again forever. So maybe listen to it. Little table on the side there. The other thing you need to watch out for is these window vents. The low level vent, don't open that at 24,000 feet, because it literally opens up a hole in here, and yeah, all the air inside the cabin will go out. Indeed, if only there was some kind of, I don't know, looped recording on a frequency that you could listen to that would tell you the weather. Oh yeah, there is. And center controllers don't control the runway. That's approach. I know in Australia they give out the SID and star, like at 35,000 feet way out here. However, in America, they're a bit different. And Canada, I know it's not the United States, but they do it the same way. So you file your arrival route, in this case Cabot 5. So it's in our flight plan. That means we are expected to do it. So don't wait for the controller to give it to you, because he never will, because you've given it to him. He's not going to give you something you gave him. So let's talk about the Cabot arrival. What happens if you open it in the sim? You will probably get the ding 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 noise, you know, cabin pressure alarm. I'm not sure if you even can this high. You can open the low one, that's easy. That just opens the valve from the heated air and blasts heated air down this window. to heat it up. But this one, yeah, no.
Air Canada 5471, we're requesting to leave the cockpit for like 3 minutes.
It should suction itself closed. Like,
sorry,
if you've taken off with it open, it won't suction itself closed because it just open. But
okay,
yeah,
that's approved. Let me know
it'll
when
be
you're
hard
back,
to
please.
actually physically open at the moment.
Yeah, no problem. We'll let you know when we're back.
Okay.
But if you, for instance, taxied with that open, and then forgot to close it before takeoff, you may find yourself with the old cabin altitude alarm going off. Up here though, you can't open it. It's just firmly kind of like suctioned shut. It's a bit like the Airbus A320. If you take off with the window cracked open, you get to 10,000 feet and suddenly it's like ming, 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 alarm, altitude, cabin pressure. Here's an oxygen mask. Do you want one of these? It's easy enough to close the window. It's hard to reopen it again if it's pressurized. These windows don't actually open. It's just got a vent in there that lets the air from the outside into the inside. It's basically a default.
Jazz 996, cleared ILS runway 29 approach, on DAP transition.
Cleared ILS approach runway 29.
Oh, that's good to hear, Diamond Aviation. Real life people asking what the runway is to center, who doesn't control the runway. And there's a perfectly fine and working ATIS down there.
Air Canada 5471, we're back.
Thank you.
All you need to do is tune the frequency, listen to it, take out your pen and write
Moncton
down the
Center,
runway.
TBM, Foxtrot Delta Victor Oscar with you, passing 13,000 feet to flight level 230.
TBM Foxtrot Delta Victor Oscar, Moncton Center, good evening. Climb flight level 290.
290, Delta Victor Oscar.
So anyway, I'm going to set in our arrival details. You click on FPL for the flight plan, click on menu, click on arrive. We're using runway 14, which is option 2. Select it. We're on the Cabot 4 arrival, number 1. Runway 14, number 3. We're in Cayley. We're not coming from Cayley, are we? No, we're not. Just double check that on our flight plan to make sure. Yeah, we are Cayley. Okay, cool. But we're also the runway 14. Yeah, let's do it that way. So Texid, Cayley, Bosub, yep. Just remove that no link. Cayley, direct to Bosub, Cabot, Vilma, IGVOP, and then vectors onto the ILS. And we haven't selected the ILS for some reason. Okay, flight plan, menu, arrive. Approach will be ILS runway 14.
Air Canada 634, Moncton Center, good evening.
And IGVOP, arrival, there we go.
Air Canada 634, I can offer you the midnight Zulu weather for Charlottetown if you need it.
Go for 634.
All right, winds 160 magnetic,
So
6
again,
knots,
Cayley,
visibility 15
Bosub,
miles,
Cabot,
feeling 5,000 broken, temperature
Vilma,
22, dew point 18,
vectors.
Charlottetown altimeter 3001.
And then down the ILS, runway 14.
634, Chuck remarks, and we will be planning
From IGVOP, TTAR.
21 approach this evening.
Said TTAR twice. Okay then, cool.
All right, I'll let the arrival controller know.
At TTAR, we intercept the arrival. Runway 14.
Moncton Center, Delta 72 Heavy with you, flight level 370.
Delta 72 Heavy, Moncton Center, good evening.
I saw the sun move around a little.
Moncton, this is Speedbird Concord 1, ready to start descent.
Speedbird Concord 1, descend flight level 290.
Descent 290, Speedbird Concord 1.
That's a little confusing, but...
Roger.
IGVOP. IGVOPS said vectors. I think I'll close the disco just so that we can connect IGVOP to itself. And then just be very aware of the fact that we might need to change that. Also going to drop Theta twice. So Theta, intercept runway 14 RLS, and then I'm Manvo. And then runway 14. Missed approach procedure is straight ahead. And then at 12 DME, it's quite a bit of a straight ahead, isn't it? Make a left-hand turn to enter a holding pattern at Halifax VOR. 210 knots. And I believe it's 3,000 feet. Yep, 3,000. Runway 14.
Moncton Center, Delta Victor Oscar, I have a pilot.
12 DME.
Delta Victor Oscar, sorry, go ahead.
Be advised there is slight icing between flight level 180 and 190, approximately 40 miles northeast of Halifax.
Delta Victor Oscar, roger.
Nice name, Diamond Aviation. Do you fly DA-40s? Let's look at our time for the arrival. Through the hour.
Jazz 996, just confirm altimeter set 3004. You're quite a bit lower than the published altitudes on the approach there.
Yeah, we're fixed now. We have 3004,
Jazz
Jazz 996.
996, roger. Clear to land runway 29. The wind's 290, 20, gusting 26.
Check the winds, clear to land runway 29, Jazz 996.
Roger.
What time does the aircraft think it is right now? Ah, okay. That's got nothing to do with the actual time, does it? How did that happen? It's bizarre. Time and season. Nah, it's 43 minutes. Dude, come on. That's more like it. 47. I'm trying to figure out my time and it's like half an hour off. I'm going, what's going on here? At 13:47, 13:33. We should be arriving in about 50 minutes, something like that. Oh, that's a pity. A Piper Warrior is fine if it actually works. I used to fly Archers, they were quite fun. I used to fly one specific Archer. It was quite fun.
Air Canada 634, when you're ready, descend flight level 290.
When ready, down to 290.
That said, it did have a bit of hangar time as well.
Roger.
Remember one time, yeah, the radios simply weren't working. It's like, let's go ahead and turn on the aircraft. Oh, look at that. The radios won't come on. Well, we can't go flying today. So once we vacate this runway 14, probably at Mike, coming in via Kilo, cross on the runway 23, onto Delta, there's the air terminal. Right there, and I believe we're at South Apron. Cool, that's easy.
Air Canada 634, when you're able, you can proceed direct Ovapu.
Okay, thanks. Direct Ovapu now, Canada 634.
Roger.
Okay, I think we've covered everything that we need for the approach. Just have to fly it now. Intercept altitude is 3,000 feet. Minimum descent is 641. Probably be braking visual right at the minimum. Missed approach is straight ahead to 12 miles and then into the holding pattern 3,000 feet.
Air Canada 5471, contact Montreal Centre on 12877. Good night.
Vacating on Mike, taxiing via Kilo and Delta, crossing the runway.
Air Canada 5.
Parking on the south end. Speeds are set 123, approach speed 128.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Go around speed is 128 or higher. And Dave Bishop, working for the airline we're flying today as a dispatcher. Nice to have you on. Nice to say hi. If I didn't get my work shifts changed to the point of not being able to do Milk Run Monday anymore in Australia, I wouldn't be here doing this now. And I'll probably be here next week doing something similar, maybe the return trip. Going back out to St. John's. I say return, but you know, further away from Newfie.
Air Canada.
Out to Labrador Island. It's quite an out of the way kind of place.
Yes, that's what I'm showing.
Air Canada 571. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we got it. Very much, and have a great day. Bye.
All right, see ya.
This might be my replacement Milk Run Monday for quite a while, for a few months at least. Not too bad. Starts at 9 in the morning for me. We'll probably be done by about midday, and then I've got 3 hours until work starts. So. Yeah, get used to this. As long as I get my Fridays off. And they're talking about putting me on a Saturday.
Jazz 996, backtrack runway 29, taxi runway 16.
Until that's
Juliet
established,
Hotel,
I don't know
Golf
yet.
to the apron.
I want Fridays off because I have an event that I, like, when we're not in COVID lockdown, I will have a LARPing event where we go and dress up and hit each other with rubber phone swords. And
Speedbird Concorde 1, contact Boston Center on 1349er. So long.
1349.
My trumpet's in my bedroom. We'll have to take it out. Oh no, it's over there. Cool. Haven't played this morning.
Canada 634, leaving 350 for 290.
Air Canada 634, roger, contact arrival on 1244. We'll see ya.
24.4, Canada 634, see ya.
So yeah, I intend to do that on Fridays. In a field with a bunch of other people. Not during lockdown, of course. But since work wants me on Saturdays, they want to do my days off on Sunday and Monday, and I was like, no.
I'm just Porter 114.
I want to go to my event.
Sorry about that. Have a good one.
Porter 114, roger, so long.
I'll be happy to have a split weekend and be able to go out and do that. Hello, Aaron. Hope you're well. Aren't you meant to be in school or something? Or are you still in isolation? Aaron got COVID tier 1. Oh, yep, you're in school and you'll go back to class after. That's cool. That's cool. Good old morning tea time. Yeah, we're just Dash8ing around Canada. That's a lot of open ocean below that Dash8. So heading across the gap between Labrador and Nova Scotia. What is that gap called? I know we've got a Canadian watching, so... that little strait between the island and Nova Scotia. Is it the Gulf of St. Lawrence, or is that north? I do like the fact that we're going to be flying over a little town called Sydney. Sydney, Nova Scotia. We're flying Milk Run Monday, so Canadian Milk Run Monday over Sydney. Sydney's got an airport, doesn't it? Let's go there next time. Is there any scenery for Sydney? Is there any airline flights that fly there from anywhere useful? I see all of Moncton's on. Oh no, that's Montreal. Cool. Is Montreal on? Not really, just the centre. Okay. I think Toronto's on. No, that's Burbank. Okay. Boston's there. Looks like something's happened down in Philadelphia and New York. New York Centre's not online though. Boston is. I'll research into it. Looks like we could get into Sydney or somewhere fun. Need more scenery out this part of the world. Or need some turboprops in Microsoft Flight Sim, because it's got scenery out this part of the world.
Moncton Center, Air France 347 Heavy, flight level 330.
Air France 347 Heavy, Moncton Center, good evening.
Hello, hello.
Let's set up the top of the descent. Vilma at 5,000 looks good to me. Yeah, let's do that. "26 minutes, 141 miles to top of the descent." Catch Aaron, have a gone.
Moncton Center, Cargo Jet 621, request IFR clearance to Mirabel.
Cargo Jet 621, Moncton Center, good evening. I don't seem to have your flight plan. What's your location right now?
Roger, we're on the ramp at Moncton. I will try resending my flight plan.
Okay, if that's the case, you may have already sent it through, but the approach controller is also the departure controller there. So give Moncton Center a call on 124.4. They'll be able to help you out.
I think we're almost. Oh, we're in range of Moncton.
Just confirm you want me to contact Moncton Center or Moncton Approach.
Okay, the call sign will still be Moncton Center, but you'll see CYQM_APP on 124.4.
10-4 Moncton Approach on 124.4, Cargo Jet 621.
Literally not what he said. That's hilarious.
Air France 347 Heavy, requesting flight level 350.
It's like being introduced to someone.
Air France
Hi there, my name is
flight level
Trent.
350.
Oh, your name is Boris. No, it's
350,
actually Trent.
Air
Hello,
France
Boris. How are you doing,
347.
Boris? My name's Trent. Okay, Boris.
Roger.
My name's Moncton Center, not Approach. Okay, we'll contact Approach.
Good evening, Moncton Centre. This is American 232 with you at flight level 310.
American 232, Moncton Centre, good evening. We'll get you to change your transponder code. Squawk 3151, please.
Squawk 3151, American 232.
Going to point my radar down a little bit, maybe 3 degrees. Yeah, 2 will do. Let the radar paint down just below us, because we are descending into that mark at some point. We'll probably need anti-icing as well. Need to cross fill again. There we are, done. And I'll chuck in the VNav on the other side as well. Back over land. Not that you know it. Oh yeah. It's not that cloudy. Sydney's up there somewhere. Sydney, Canada. New Scotland. In Latin.
American 232, when ready, descend 10,000. Halifax altimeter is 3000.
We're over Nova Scotia now, so you should be able to pick up the ATIS.
American 232.
Roger.
ATIS 121.0. And we'll turn up the radio number 2 so we can hear it. Might not be in range yet. Or it might be one of these dud ATISes that
Charlie Romeo 47, Moncton Centre. Good evening, flight level 350.
I missed the call sign checking in there.
Charlie Romeo 47, flight level 350.
Oh, this even on
Charlie
the
Romeo,
this
Romeo
particular
47,
version
Moncton Centre, good evening.
of the Dash8, at least, the 2 independent FMSs don't share information automatically, so you need to kind of tell them to talk to each other. And you do that by clicking on menu and then cross fill, flight plan or fuel. It's kind of a, I don't know, a design limitation of this particular aircraft type. I'm told by a certain person who flies Dash8s in the real world that the Qantas Link aeroplanes have a different FMS model, which actually automatically lines up. Still universal, but it's a different software. But the one that came with Majestic software is, I think, based on the one at Qudarant Airlines in Scandinavia. So they use the one where they have to manually sync them up. Qantas decided that was a bit of a pain, and they
Charlie
decided
Romeo
to
47, where are you going?
buy the version that doesn't need to do that.
Charlie Romeo 47, cap to Alex, I enter Fundy Star, Fundy 5 for the star.
I think from a design standpoint, the idea of having them unsynchronized...
Fundy 5 arrival, and that is a valid transition for that star as well. You didn't need to go direct to Alex to enter that, and that was certainly unexpected for me.
Okay, sorry for that, so I can change for direct to Ebony?
Well, Ebony's now behind you. Charlie Romeo 47, continue the Alex transition, but when you're able, you can proceed direct to Basti.
Okay, I proceed direct to Basti, Charlie Romeo 7.
Roger.
Alright, so I think from a design standpoint, having them unlinked and then you have to manually do it means that the pilot who's entering the information into the FMS does it himself, gets it sorted so it's all nice and, you know, goes where you expect it, and then you brief the other cockpit member. So you go, alright, I've entered this stuff in, so if you look on my FMS, we're going to this waypoint, then that waypoint, and that waypoint. Do you agree? Yes, I do agree, and then they bring it over into his FMS. If he doesn't agree, then you can actually bring it back into the original setting before it was changed. It's like, no, you've stuffed that up pretty badly. How about you cross-sync from mine back to the default flight plan and then try it again. Yeah, it's basically part of the briefing. It's like, once you're both on the same, have the same information in both your FMSs, then, you know, then you agree what you're going to do is correct. Yeah, it's not something that Majestic decided to put in for some reason. They don't have the option of the Qantas way of doing things. As you can tell by the lack of a checklist on the dashboard, the Qantas Link used to have these big chunky like metal checklists, and you'd pull up the checklist and you'd physically touch and switch the checklist across, and it'd be sitting up here. I'll see if I can get a picture of it, because it's a very bizarre looking thing. That thing there. That's the checklist. I'll see if I can... There it is. Up. So when the checklist is deployed, you can see it sitting there. This big massive metal thing. And then you flick each one as you do the checklist. So I think the top several of these are completed, and then these bottom few are still to be done. So yeah, that's how Qantas Link do their checklists. We're inside cloud now. At least it's how they used to do it until about 2018, at which point they went to the iPads. But yeah, for a while they had this massive metal checklist sitting on top of the dash there.
Charlie Romeo 47. What waypoint are you heading for now?
Charlie Romeo 47, cap to Prepar5d.
Are you in a slight right turn now?
Stand by.
Can't tell the difference between a right turn and not a right turn. Okay. We've got some oddities happening with the pilots out here today. Asking centre for the runway. Not sure if he's in the right turn or not.
Charlie Romeo 47, when ready, descend 10,000, Halifax altimeter 3000.
Descend and maintain 10,000, Charlie Romeo 47.
Roger.
It'd be kind of nice to have the different software options available by Majestic, but you know, having this is probably a blessing in itself. Yeah, that's the basic idea behind having the disconnected FMSs, is that pilot flying enters the information into the FMS, and then the pilot monitoring receives the information and reviews it before they accept it. And then if it turns out to be wrong, they can reverse the decision, and then, you know, it's kind of like a restore to original settings kind of option.
Encore 3423, when ready, descend 10,000, Halifax altimeter 3000.
Ready down to 10,000 and copy altimeter Halifax, Encore 3423.
Roger.
So we're clear down to 10,000.
Yeah, Moncton Center, Delta 640. Are we still with you, or are we switching over to Montreal now?
Yeah, it's a bit convoluted on the maps. 290 and above, you're still in Moncton's airspace. If you were below 29, you'd be in Montreal, so you can stick with me.
Sounds good. Thanks, Delta 640.
And altimeter 2999, which will be 1015 once we start descending. Hi there, Daniel. And yeah, I could tell you was a good controller. He was even subvertively teaching pilots to, you know, not rely on ATC to give the runway. There is an ATIS for this. Speaking of the ATIS, it's not coming through audio for some reason, but we have it in text, and it looks like this. Information Papa. Weather at 0100 Zulu, wind 150 at 11. So it's gone up 1 knot and changed by 10 degrees. Visibility is 1/4 of a mile. Light showers of rain, fog, obscured visibility, 100 feet. Temperature 20 degrees Celsius, dew point 20. Altimeter 2999, as we got from the controller. Let's approach runway 14. Landing and departing 14, and there we go. Cool. So 1/4 mile visibility and possibly vertical visibility of 100 feet. And if we're in that position, we might end up having to go around and go somewhere else. Moncton is the somewhere else that we chose. Let's start looking at Moncton's weather, because if it's as bad as that, we might need to come up with another plan. So menu into, no, not menu, data. Unilink, text weather, C-GWUE, is it QM? Send that through, back to the message log. Moncton, overcast at 1,000 feet, 21 degrees, 15 statute miles visibility. So yeah, Moncton looks like a good place to go if we can't get into Halifax. Are we allowed to shoot the approach? Probably not, but we're going to anyway. We'll see what happens. We might get there and the weather will be kind to us and be visible at 200 feet.
Climb flight level 400.
If we get down to 200 feet and we can't see anything, I'm going to squeak down to 195. If we still can't see anything, we'll just have to go around. My go around button is just on my thumb.
617 Moncton Center, good evening. Climb flight level 340.
Thumb, off you go, pull up, get the gear up, complete the missed approach procedure into the holding pattern, 3,000 feet at the VOR. And then we'll actually just divert to Moncton. If we can't see it the first time, it's not going to improve at any point. It's actually getting worse.
Moncton Center, Delta Victor Oscar request.
An hour ago it was 200 feet, now it's down to 100.
Request stepping away from the flight deck for about 5 minutes.
So after the mist, we would then
That's
proceed.
approved, let me know when you're back, thanks.
Welcome, Delta Victor Oscar.
Via this.
American 232,
flight
contact
level
Halifax
140.
arrival on 1192. So long.
Approach on 119.2. Thanks for your help.
Charlie Romeo Romeo 47, contact Halifax arrival on 119.
Yeah, I heard that.
Tonight.
Orbex has a Halifax out. Unfortunately, there's not one for P3D apart from that weird Swiss website where you have to send money and then hope that it gets back to you at some point.
18,000 for flight level 280.
Two aircraft transmitted at once. First, Cargo Jet 621, Moncton Center, good evening. Continue climb flight level 400.
Roger, continue climb to 400. Cargo Jet 621.
So from the holding point at
who was the other aircraft checked in there?
the VOR, we track a V313 to Moncton direct.
Moncton Center,
Oh,
good
that's
evening,
easy.
American 1314 inbound Husky, flight level 350.
American 1314, Moncton Center, good evening.
Top of the center alert. We're going to go into the VNAV. VNAV set. We have VNAV altitude selected 10,000. So yeah, a little bit of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 action. We'll just need a good aircraft to be able to do that. Because as much as I enjoy flying the CJ4 around, it'll be a bit boring to do that every week. And yeah, I know there's some 737 coming along from some little company called PMDG. But that's not here yet, and it's probably not going to be here for a few more months. RVR good for 2-3? Cool. I'm just worried about this vertical visibility at 100 feet. That's below the minimums. But yeah, RVR's okay for the actual runway. So saved by that. If you're off the runway, probably because of the other aircraft flying into the runway, every time an aircraft goes through, it kind of like swirls away the fog a bit. So hopefully we can get in quite close to someone else that's landing or departing, because jet wash will do it as well.
Speedbird 9 Echo, Moncton.
Go ahead, Speedbird.
Some considerations
Okay,
for our
you're
descent
leaving my
as
airspace
we pull
shortly.
the
The
power
oceanic
and
sector is
start
not online.
on
The
down.
surveillance service terminates. You can change to en route frequencies. Have a good night.
I did not get the Honeycomb announcement. Is it something to do with rudder pedals? Or is it something to do with getting more equipment out? Which would be great if you don't have any, but you know, I've
Encore
already got my
3423, contact Halifax arrival on 1192. So long.
Honeycomb Aeronautical. Was that for us that I missed, or?
Encore 3423, contact Halifax 1192. So long.
119.2, Encore 3423. As I said, we have to miss a call at least once every stream.
Cargo Jet 551, roger sir, you can continue that left turn now towards AJ.
And beginning our descent now. Halifax Centre, Encore 3423, leaving flight level 240 on descent 10,000.
Encore 3423, good evening sir, continue inbound.
3423. Ah, there we go. So if you don't have your Honeycomb Bravo throttles, get them before they increase in price. They're a very good unit. I'm using one at the moment. It has a trim, it has 6 throttle positions, and you can change and interchange the throttles from jets to props to all kinds of add-ons. You've got buttons on the throttle stick itself. You've got like a complete range of autopilot buttons on the top of them. Switches, gear, flaps, autopilot button, a couple of rotary switches which you can assign different things to. I love it.
Charlie Romeo 47, continue descent now 5,000.
Continue descent 5,000, Charlie Romeo 47.
Cover Rogue flying a real plane in a little while. Very nice, very nice. With passengers. Cool. Oh, you're even going international to Spain. Nice. E-G-G-W out of Luton. What kind of aircraft are you flying? And there's an Airbus. LEAL. Which one's LEAL? I know it's Spain because of LE. I don't know AL. LEAL. ICAO code is Alicante. Cool. I know that place. Are you working for EasyJet? Haven't been to, well, I've been to Europe very, very long ago, but I only I was in a orchestra, so I barely remember even any of the places. We just went to Denmark, so we stopped at Heathrow on the way for all of 2 hours. Had to change terminals.
Cargo Jet 551 over to center 1322.
Yeah, that's the only time I've been to London, is inside Heathrow. From Heathrow to leaving Heathrow. Need to go out there for an actual holiday. Oh, you're on the 320 Neo.
Charlie Romeo 47, slow to 250 or less.
250, Charlie OF7.
Your IOE flight, initial operating experience, is what they call it down there.
American 232, reduce speed 220 or less.
220 or less. Should I commence my descent to 5,000? American 232.
232, roger, down to 5.
Down to 5,000, American 232.
Hold 240. Let's seat the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Captain speaking from the flight deck. We've begun our descent into Halifax at this stage. We do anticipate arriving there in about 15 minutes from now. In preparation for landing, seatbelt signs have been turned on, and I'll ask you to return to your seats, ensure your seatbelts are fastened. We'll get the weather down in Halifax. Pretty bad, foggy, rainy, temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, and has been quite windy as well. So it looks like if you don't have your brollies, you will get wet. Cabin crew, please prepare the arrival.
Encore 3423 down to 3000.
Descent 3000, Encore 3423. set.
Charlie Romeo 47 down to 3000.
3000, Charlie Romeo 47.
Catch your cover, Rick. Have a good one. Got 10,000 feet, need to do a checklist. Okay, pressurization is 0, GPWS flap 15, briefing's completed, MSA is set, speeds are set. And decision height is 200 feet above the ground. Altimeters, we're down to 3,000 feet, altimeter.
Charlie Romeo 47, cancel the star. Vectors for the final left 060.
Fuel transfer is off, fuel pumps on. Standby PTU is on. And signs are on.
Charlie Romeo 47 left 060.
060, Charlie 07.
+4, we don't have any icing currently. That may change. Just need to check my speed there. I want to be about 240. 235 is about right. As you hit about 8,000 feet, the maximum speed comes right down on the Dash8s. Down to about 240. So if you're sitting at about 235, passing 10,000, you should be about right. 235. Remembering that we don't have any auto throttle, so any speed adjustment needs to be done on the throttle. And of course, as you level off, you're going to have to push the throttle forward. And every time you move the throttle, you've got to move your rudders. More throttle means right rudder, less throttle means less right rudder, more left rudder.
Charlie Romeo 47, right now 110 for the ILS, runway 14.
Right 110 for the ILS 14, Charlie Romeo 7.
Flight sim is the only way you can get out of, yeah, out of a 5-kilometre radius of your house. Crossing any borders. Probably till the end of next month. Sad face. As I said, I had a whole bunch of stuff planned for September. I was going
Charlie
on
Romeo 47, right now 140
It's going to be my first
for
quest
the ILS.
with the LARPing group, and we're going to like sleep in tents for the majority of a week. Get out and play medieval music, hence my purchase of that trumpet, and dress in medieval clothes, eat medieval food, cook it ourselves. Not going to happen.
Charlie Romeo 47, cleared the ILS approach runway 14.
Clear to the ILS runway 14, Charlie Romeo 47.
We're right on the red line now at the top, so 135.
Charlie Romeo 47, call the tower now, 118.4, see ya.
118.4, Charlie Romeo 7, thank you for your service, have a good night.
Speed back to 220.
American 232 down to 3,000.
Down to 3,000, American 232.
Lights on.
American 232, cancel the star. Right turn now, 110 for the ILS.
Right turn 110, American 232.
Towers ready. 118. 4.
Encore 3423, stop your descent 4,000.
Stop descent 4,000, Encore 3423. 4,000 set. Yes, it would have been a laugh community outing, and I would have taken the natural trumpet, the little plastic, full-sized, 8-foot long wrapped around trumpet that I have. Natural trumpet. Technically that's in the Baroque style, but you know, you could stretch it and make it Renaissance. And we're going to make like a proper outfit for me and everything.
American 232 cleared the ILS runway 14.
Got a sword, like a little rubber sword.
Cleared ILS runway 14,
based on a
American
small
232.
sword. Yeah, it's going to be fun, but it's not going to happen this year. Let's try next September 2022. Modern History TV sounds fun. Yeah, we already had our entire LARP group ready, set up. We're going to be the Holy Roman Empire, which is to say Germans. Yeah. But since the event's cancelled, I'll have to try next year. Oh, we're not descending.
Encore 3423 down to 3.
Down to 3,000, Encore 3423. 3,000 set, we're in IS mode.
LMX departure, pop back on 902, currently non-nautical miles 172 from Yankee Hotel Zulu, 902.
Okay, Papa Echo 902, good evening, sir. Maintain 2000, left turn, direct Stanley.
Speed 190.
Say again, all after left turn.
902, left turn, direct Stanley airfield.
Roger, left turn, direct Stanley airfield, maintain 2000, 902.
Altitude acquired 3000.
Encore 3423, slow to minimum.
Minimum speed on call 3423.
American 232, Encore 3423, be advised you guys are going to be real close to each other. American 232, I need you to speed up just a touch if you can.
Okay, I'm currently at
Flaps 5,
150
speed
knots,
check.
American 232.
Encore 3423, I'm going to have to break you off. Right turn for now, 320.
Right turn 320 on call 3423.
Halifax arrival.
American 232, contact the tower 184.
Tower 184, American 232.
See you, Daniel. Have a gone.
Last station calling, say the call sign.
American 1314.
American 1314, good evening, sir. Continue inbound.
Continue inbound, American 1314.
Heading select. And altitude reacquire.
American 1314, be advised you're looking at the ILS runway 14. Information Quebec on 121.0.
Couple of things we need to do here.
Okay, expect ILS 14, and we are going to pick up the ATIS American 1214.
Nav source back to ILS.
Encore 3423, sorry about that, sir. Now you can make that left turn now best you can at 175.
Heading 175 on call 3423. Heading 175, set. Speed 180.
Encore 3423, cleared the ILS runway 14.
Good last approach runway 14 on call 3420. Okay, approach mode is set. We have localizer.
We have Quebec on board the American 1314.
Localizer captured.
1314, say again?
We have the ATIS Quebec on board American 1314.
1314, understood. Thank you. Continue inbound, descend 7000.
Continue inbound, descend 7000, American 1314.
Papa Echo 902, maintain 5 miles to the northeast of the field.
Roger. Maintain 5 miles northeast field, 902.
Papa Echo 902, actually, pick up a heading 330.
Roger, take heading 330, 902.
Okay, glide sight coming down, reducing speed down to 160.
Encore 3423 over to tower 184.
118.4 on call 3423. We're on approach. Gear coming down, and we'll go flaps 15. Halifax approach, Encore 3423, established runway 14.
Encore 3423, Halifax Tower, good evening. You're currently number 1 for the approach. We might have one aircraft taxiing across the active. Current altimeter 29er, 9er. You can continue.
Continue approach, Encore 3423. So there's crossing an aircraft in front of us. Character Steve, how have we gone? We're going to go into NTOP, so we have that set, R, reduced landing NTOP, and levers forward. Capturing that final approach speed, and we have a checklist. Landing checklist, last protection not required, landing gear down 3 green, condition levers the maximum. Set.
Encore 3423. Winds 150 at 11 knots, clear to land, runway 14.
Runway 14, clear to land, on call 3423. We're clear to land. Gonna stay on autopilot until we see some runway. As I said, probably about 200 feet.
Halifax Tower, JetBlue 27, holding short, runway 14.
JetBlue 27, I have Halifax Tower, good evening. I have one aircraft landing short final. You can continue holding short. When we are able to get you onto the runway, do you require the full length or intersection hotel is appropriate?
Full length, please.
JetBlue 27, Roger, continue holding short. I'll have that backtrack shortly.
Roger, JetBlue 27.
Care established on final speed.
Just confirm your continue holding short.
Holding short, runway 14, JetBlue 27.
Thank you.
Stable. Stable at 1000. This is indeed going to be a bit sketchy. Can't see anything out there. Looking for some runway lights. Still showing 600 feet.
500.
Runway lights inside. My aircraft. That's the runway there. Jeez. A little bit off.
100. Safe rate. 30. 10.
JetBlue 27, that traffic has passed from your left to right. You can now backtrack runway 14, advise in position and ready to go.
Roger that, JetBlue 27.
So where's the taxiway? There's one. That was a bit interesting. We got down to about 200, as I said.
Encore 342 welcome to Halifax. You can exit right when able and contact the ground controller on 121.9er.
Exit right and ground 121.9er, Encore 3423.
Take care, thanks.
Flaps coming up. .293 to 1.9 I meant.
Delta 1406, readback is correct. Push and start your discretion. Core ready for taxi. Information Papa is correct. Roger, Papa car.
Halifax ground, Encore 3423, vacated runway 194.
Westjet, Encore, Halifax ground, welcome to Halifax taxi via Mike, cross runway 23, Delta, upper range discretion, gate of your choice.
Give that, operate via Mike Kilo, cross runway 23 on the Delta, Encore 3423. That's a French accent.
Charlie, Romeo 47, can you expedite your cross for runway 14?
Confirm, Chaillot 7.
I use
Cross,
landing rates monitor, LRM. It works in P3D and FSX only. So just look that up, landing rates monitor. Does that spawn twice? No, it doesn't. Cool. Okay, one thing we do need to check is make sure our radar is in standby. That's sorted. Lights off. We have red. Turn off the statics. Well, that was exciting. And we'll be home for lunch in 10 minutes. And 3 hours till I start work. We've been cleared to cross the runway. Runway's up ahead.
Charlie Romeo 7, confirm parking terminal.
Perfect, have a good night. Bye.
Have a good night, thank you for your service.
Taxi lights coming off. Let's see which position we're in. Gates 2. That one. Clearly not, but we want to be here.
Delta Whiskey Charlie 33, good day.
Delta Whiskey Charlie 33, 33, go ahead.
Delta Whiskey Charlie 33 at Halifax. Gate 20, requesting IFR clearance to Philadelphia as filed. We have information, Papa, Concord Heavy.
Delta Whiskey Charlie 33, Halifax ground clear to Philadelphia via Halifax 4, flight plan route, depart runway 14, squawk number 4317.
Okay, begin the shutdown. Start feather. Set 30 seconds on the clock. Okay, total of 2 hours 18 minutes. While we're sitting here, just grab the checklist. Shutdown checks, parking brake is set, hydraulic pumps, PTU are off. Power condition lever is set to start, nose oil steering goes off. Weather radar off. APU. APU is ready, generator's in, and we'll shut it down. Now play whack-a-mole with the warning lights. That should be the last of them. Bleed air is off, bus tyres in, and we can probably connect external power once we're ready. Seatbelt signs off. Camera crew, disarm doors. And the doors are open. Lights can go further off, red's off. Onto the ground power. To clear your flight plan so you can go back, 99. So this one here, 99. That makes your last leg. Nav, select 99, go. Okay, I'm going to go on to the ground power. External power is in. And APU off. Nice, foggy Canada. I'm not really going to wait for that, so what we're going to do instead is just shut the aircraft back down. External power off, because we're not going to be using it in a second. Let's make sure all of these things are off. Position light is off. Window heat is off. FMSs can go off. Off standby off. And that one as well. Come down here and turn your radios off. Whack the last mole. Check that the anti-skid is off. And the other thing that should be off is the emergency lights. I think the overhead is clear. And let's take out the batteries. Standby first. And battery off. And there we go. Courts ask, between the C-GWUE and the Dash8, which one is easy to learn? I like the Dash8 better. That's probably because a friend of mine actually flies them, and I've got a poster of the cockpit of one just behind me there. I think the C-GWUE is easier to learn in some respects, in that it's a jet and you don't have to worry about your torque and the fact that you'll get a lot of right rudder required as you advance power, which this aircraft does. So with the C-GWUE you just add power and the thing goes straight ahead. With this thing you've got the RPM on your propellers, which changes between 850, 900 and 1050, which you have to think about. So you have like 4 or 5 different positions on your condition lever, they call it. So yeah, that entire, the engine management is an issue, and the fact that the aircraft wants to kind of rudder off to the right. Which you don't get in the C-GWUE. The advantage of the Dash8 is it's not as overpowered as the C-GWUE, so when you go to full power, you can pull up and you can maintain, 180 knots, 200 knots. And if you need to level off intermediately at 5,000 feet, you just push the yoke forward and then you go, oh yeah, this thing doesn't have an auto throttle. I'm going to pull the throttle back. And then you're like at 220 knots. Whereas in the C-GWUE, it's like, oh, right, take off power, pull up, rotate. Okay, then we're established. gear up, you've already busted your altitude, you push forward and now you're overspeeding. So, you know, the amount of power you have on the CRJ is a concern. You have to think about that a bit more. But of course, then you get the coupling of the rudder and the throttle on the Dash8. So you add more power, you're going to have to put the left pedal down, or the right pedal down. Take the power away, you put the left pedal down, trim out the rudder. Yeah. There's a bit of both. But yeah, I enjoy the Dash8 more. The simulation of this Dash8 is top notch. Can't fault it. Aerosoft CRJ has a few little foibles that I constantly come across and it slightly infuriate me. It's Aerosoft things. Whereas this Dash8 just has the Dash8 things. You don't have to worry about the simulation too much. So it's like, is that how the real Dash8 does it? Yes, that's how the real Dash8 does it. Whereas with the Aerosoft CRJ, it's like, is that how the real CRJ does it? No, that's an Aerosoft problem. I see. So yeah, my suggestion is the Dash8 is very nice to fly. That's why I fly it more often than the CRJ, which I don't really like as much. That said, given that we're going to be flying into Canada more often, and there's better scenery in this part of Canada for Microsoft Flight Sim, I might have to get the CRJ and fly that around a bit. So, yeah, let's have a go. Anyway, till next time, I have been Musical Aviator. That's been a Dash8 flight from Labrador to Nova Scotia. Good to get these Moncton Mondays instead of Milk Run Monday because of my new shift at work, meaning I'm here now and not, 12 hours ago. Anyhow, I have been Musical Aviator. That's been Dash8. See you guys next time. Bye for now.